I've been out of the country and away from the plot last week, and I'm just amazed how much the plants have grown. Come and take a look. Have a look in the shower inside the tent. So this has looked after itself all on its own. I watered them before I went, and the condensation and humidity has kept them watered well. They look good, except for this Armageddon chili. Something's really battering now. I've got to find out what it is. Well, I'm just amazed at how these tomatoes have grown. Really pleased with those, and these down the end as well. Fantastic. A couple of trays of spring onions. Them are almost ready to go out. And there's some more there. Got a few marigolds coming up. Again, the peppers there have had the right battering. I've got to find out what that is. And I've got some more here. What I'm having trouble with is the brown shallots. Germination's been absolute rubbish. I'm looking at thinking I might be sowing another tray yet. They're absolutely terrible, they are. One thing that has really shot up is these cucumbers, the mini munch. I remember there's definitely 7 seeds in. They've all fired and germinated, looking good, and they'll be needing potting on quite soon. Before we go into the greenhouse on the allotment, I just want to show you this bed that I manured about 2 months ago. All that rain we've had has washed this in perfectly. That'll turn in lovely, that will. And that was quite coarse manure on the top, that was. So this is destined to be the onion bed. And so with very little work on that, that'll be ready. Quick look into the garlic. Both the elephant and the normal variety Marco. I'm doing good. There's just one, I think there's one, it hasn't misfired, but it's thrown up a weird shape, but not to bother about that. Back to the new onion bed, what's going to be for this year. I'll just try and show them. I'll try and block the shadow of the sun. And I think we might even get some of the savoys this year as well, so that's looking promising. Although it's not so good news with the spring cabbage. The leeks have started to fire up now, but you can see the difference. Both these were sown at the same time. You might recall from one of the earlier episodes. The one I'm looking at now is the musselbra, and this one here is the one called Stocky. There definitely wasn't as many seeds, but hopefully they'll thicken up a bit. All of the shallots, these are definitely ready to go out now, and say probably end of the week I might try and tidy a little area up and get all these out. Quick look in the spring cabbage. These haven't done too good, although they have been neglected a little bit. I might leave them just for a little while. I think the slugs have given them a battering. But this bed these are in, they're going to be destined for the brassicas. And so most of the beds have got manure piles on ready. And I'll just turn these in the next few days, I think. Quick look into the allotment greenhouse. I've been in this morning just to open the flap up on the tunnel, and I was amazed how the stuff has grown. Starting down the bottom, we got the begonia corms. There's no sign of any life on them yet, but there's no rush. These are my spare brassicas I've got left. These are the dahlias in the sheep wool compost, and they're starting to thicken up and branch out now, so looking good for those. Loads of lettuce here that need pricking out, 3 varieties. They were sown, I think it was the 2nd of March, which was, I don't know, a fortnight ago, so they were ready to prick out. And these are the sweet peas, Elder's mix, and I got a really good germination on them, so I'm happy and looking forward to see how they grow during the season. Moving up, these are the stars of the show for me. These brassicas have just flown up, and I need to get those potted on sooner rather than later. We'll plant them a bit deeper. There's a couple there flopping over already. Soil's not too dry, so it should be alright. I've got some beetroot popping their heads up here eventually. And the two rolls there are the Brussels sprouts again, they need potting on. And finally at the top here, we've got the onions. These first one are called Tough Ball, which I need to put on. Then we've got Johnson's Exhibition and the Robinson's Mammoth. So I've got quite a bit of potting on to do this week, and one final thing here, the mixed salads. These have gone that fast, they've started to go leggy because they was in the bottom of the little mini grow tent over there, but I brought them out now. I'll give them a drop of water, and I'm sure they'll pick up now they're in direct sunlight. This is the asparagus bed here, and say nothing happening at all, and I don't expect it to. I'm glad I did put that manure on, because I know all the rain we've had, it's washed all the goodness into the soil, and the asparagus will benefit from that. But looking on other social media sites, I noticed that some people already got spears of asparagus showing. So hopefully we'll get a decent crop this year if the mould doesn't turn up and wreck my plans again. You join me in the allotment greenhouse. I've set up this little seed sowing come pricking out station. Just a couple of builder's planks on some buckets. And mainly that's because I've got no room in the greenhouse in the garden. First job I'm going to be looking at is these lettuce seedlings. Now believe it or not, these was only sown 2 weeks ago, and they're my ideal size now for pricking out. These are going to be going out into a 40 cell tray, and I'm using the Bathgate Champions Blend, the peat-free compost, to prick them out into. This variety is called Lolo Rosso. Try to get deep below the seedling and lift it out with as much root as possible. And once you've got it out, just gently grab it by the leaves and separate it, and then these can be pricked out into the cell tray. Hold the seedling by the leaf, make a little hole, and gently lower the seedling in. Can go down into the compost more or less up to the seed leaf. Just gently firm the soil around it, and that's it. This is the first tray pricked out. As you can see, there's quite a big variation in size of the plants, but that'll work out for the best in the long run, because it'll help with staggered planting and you won't have them all mature at the same time. Today I'm going to be looking at potting these brassicas on. Now these are just 4 weeks old from sowing, and as you can see they've grown fairly well. I'm going to be potting them on into these pots here. You might think that that's not very big for the size of the pot, but with brassicas I like to keep the roots fairly tightly bound, ready for when they go out into the ground. Some people are put off from using these deep root cell trays because the plants can sometimes be a little bit difficult to get out. One thing to remember is that you need the plant in there long enough to provide a root system which will go down and actually bind itself to the soil and actually form a bond. There's a couple of ways to do it. You can actually squeeze the sides, each side, like I would with a normal cell tray. What I do, I'll get a thin little cane and just poke it up, and providing the soil's not too wet, it should pop up. You can just see that's just lifted up there enough, and that's enough there to get it out. Probably won't get all the soil out the bottom, but there'll be enough there which the roots are attached to, and that'll enable it to be potted on. This is just a normal multi-purpose compost I'm using now. Just put a little bit on the bottom, and then we'll get the plant out. Lift it out gently. You see that's come out with a fairly decent root size on it. So obviously that's too deep for the pot. I'm going to lower it in right the way down to the plant level, and then just pot it on up to the first leaf. But while I'm potting these on, we'll have a little chat. There's only one topic of conversation going on at the moment, and we all know what that is. This COVID the coronavirus. Last week was, me and my wife was in Disneyland, Paris in France, and up until Wednesday everything seemed okay, but from then onwards you could see things gradually shutting down, and we returned home by Friday, and by then the parks was more or less completely empty, and I think Disney actually shut the parks on the Sunday. But travelling back home, there was a lot of people trying to get back. Eurostar actually put a bigger train on to cope with the demand, and but the week before when we went, we was due to fly with Flybe, and on a few days before we'd heard the gun bus, so I had to race and get some transport over to there. Go back to the COVID-19, we still don't know what's going to happen. I think we all realise we're in it for the long term now, and respect to everybody, sticking to the rules, and also the people where I'm still working, because it's got to have concern for even everyone. It ain't going to go away quickly. The kids at school are finishing today or tomorrow. I think it is Friday. I know my mate who's working in London for the bit says that's more or less shutting down, and how the transport has stopped or stopping, and he's been sent home back up to the Midlands. And we don't know what the knock-on effect of everything's going to be. Is there going to be a petrol shortage or something? We don't know. When I got back on late Friday night, Saturday morning, me and my wife went shopping, and I filled the car up with petrol, so we were all right there. But it was noticeable then, the blanks on the shelves and that. My daughter's still in university in Sheffield, and all their face-to-face personal lessons have been stopped. But what they're doing, the lecturers are still doing the lectures, but they're broadcasting them online, so the students just dial in from the house where they are, and then they still can take part in the lesson. It's good that you can actually see who's online, so there's no skiving. So, that's a good thing, But quite near to me, not far away, there's an RAF base, and one of my mates sent me a text and said that he'd seen a lot of the troops leaving there, so they've obviously been deployed to help the services will have to keep working as well. So yesterday I noticed and all that the RHS had put a thing up on their website saying that all their shows, at least up till the end of June, had been cancelled, which is not expected. And immediately after that, I saw that Gardener's World at the NAC had been packed in as well. So we've got to expect shutdown more or less everywhere, I think, until we can at least stabilise this thing and get it under control. So everybody stay safe. When we got back last week from France, by the way, my wife went down with a sore throat and a cold, so she's been more or less self-isolated all this week. I've got a bit of a bad chest, but I suffer from asthma anyway. I've got 2 inhalers, so I've been taking those, and I read this morning that the people in blood group A are slightly more susceptible to this thing. Well, I'm an A negative, my blood is, so again, I'll be taking care. I'm not going to do anything stupid, and I'm fortunate that I can get out to the allotment by just coming through the gate and the fence, so my plants will be okay. But it's a pity for people if they do put a lockdown on the people who have to travel to the allotments. Can't get down to the plot still, but most people now have got things at home growing seedlings and that. So, but nevertheless, if this carries on for a few months, who knows what's going to happen. Right, I'm going to carry on with this. That's about it for me now. Everybody take care, don't do anything stupid. Make sure to keep your hands washed and clean, distance yourself from people, the usual rules, and I hope to see you in the next one. All the best, bye for now.